Hi, this is Marissa, and welcome to the third episode of FinTips, sponsored by First Ontario Credit Union. Dave Skirman joins us again today, and if you watched the first two episodes, you'll know that Dave has some great tips about personal finances. Dave is from First Ontario Credit Union, a local credit union with branches in Niagara and across Southern Ontario. You might know him from CHCH Morning Live, where he provides financial advice on Finance Fridays. Hi, Dave. The last time we talked about good debt and bad debt, and you gave us some tips about the importance of having a good credit score. A lot of us likely realize that paying a cell phone bill, leasing an apartment, or leasing a car will affect our credit score. Can you tell us more about what we should keep in mind when it comes to credit scores and how we build it?
Absolutely, Marissa. In Canada, there's two credit bureaus, TransUnion and Equifax. So you don't have a credit score or a credit file until you take credit out. So it's kind of like a catch-22. You need credit to get a credit score, and you need a good credit score to get credit. So you have to start. We talked last time about maybe getting a student credit card to start off your credit. But once you apply for credit for the first time, you will have a credit file developed at each of those credit bureaus. And inside that file is information on you and how you handle your credit activities. Credit score is very important, as we talked about before. A lot of things that you do in life, companies, individuals will check your credit score. You have to give them approval to check that credit score, but they will check it and they'll look at your file and see how you're keeping up with your obligations. Now that credit score, both of the credit bureaus have algorithms that they use. They're specific to their personal credit bureaus, and they'll use those algorithms to create your score. A number of things go into your score. How you make your payments, the length of time that you've had credit, the amount you owe, and actually the amount of times that you inquire on credit. So you might see a little kiosk set up on campus with MasterCard or Visa or some company trying to sell a credit card, and you're going to get a free t-shirt on it. Well, guess what? Every time you apply for credit, it appears as an inquiry on your credit bureau, and it actually negatively affects your credit score.
Oh,
so
wow.
Unless you really need that credit card, don't be influenced by the free t-shirt.
Yeah, it would be easy to get influenced by that, right?
Absolutely. That's why they do it.
That's really important information to know, Dave. Now, can you tell us a little bit more about what's in a credit report?
Absolutely. All of your personal information. So your legal name, your social insurance number, your date of birth, your address, your employer, your salary. And you might think, wow, that's a lot of personal information for somebody to have on me. Well, it's important for them to have that personal information and for it to be exact, because when somebody checks on your credit file, you want to make sure that they're getting the right person, because there could be other people with the same name, but there's nobody else with the same social insurance number. So it's important to have your the personal information correct in the credit bureau file, because people will check that. There's two types of inquiries that the credit bureaus have, and they're both a little different. So one is called a hard hit. So that's when you actually apply for credit. It's called a hard hit, and as I mentioned with that free t-shirt inquiry, that will affect your credit score. The other is a soft hit. The soft hit is maybe an employer checking if you're applying for a job. It could be a company you're already dealing with. They're checking to maybe they might make you a new offer. Those are called a soft hit, and it doesn't affect your credit score.
Now, some students have heard of companies such as Borrowell or Credit Karma. How do these differ from the two credit bureaus?
Well, they are companies that offer a free account to people, and they give them access to the information that's on your credit bureau, including your credit score. Now, how these companies make money is they have advertisements from financial institutions and various other companies that want to market products to you. So you sign up for a free account with Credit Karma or Borrowell. Each of them deal with a different credit bureau. They have these deals with various companies. So you can get access to your information, but you're also going to get lots of advertisements, and you're going to get lots of emails from those companies trying to sell you a credit card or various loans. Now you have to be careful, because they're biased. They're only going to make you the offers of the companies that are advertising with them. So not particularly, it may not always be the best product for you, but it's going to be the product that they're advertising or paying for them to market to you.
That they want to sell you.
Exactly. So again, it's not a bad idea to have an account with Credit Karma and Borrowell. I have one of each, and the reason I do it, because I want to check my credit bureau on a regular basis, and I want to make sure that the information I have, or they have on me, is correct.
Now, this is really important information to understand. So how would we go about checking our credit report? And how often should we check it?
Well, you can go through Borrowell or Credit Karma or a company like that. You can also go to the credit bureaus direct, to TransUnion and Equifax. Now again, that's where your credit file actually exists. So it's good at least a couple of times a year to go to both of those credit bureaus, get your file, and ensure that all the information they have on you is absolutely correct, and there's nothing going on there. Now, it used to be prior to COVID, you had to inquire in writing to get that. You get a free report once a year from each of the credit bureaus, and you had to apply in writing. Since COVID, there's been a little bit more fraud. People are doing a lot more online. So the credit bureaus have actually loosened their rules a little bit, and they will allow you to apply online and set up an account, and they'll give you some access a few times a year online to see your account.
Oh, great.
Again, it's very important because of the fact that, again, probably because we do so much online, there's more fraud going on online. So again, if you find something that on the credit bureau that's not yours, then you need to take actions to correct that. Otherwise, somebody might be stealing your identity and ultimately taking credit and maybe stealing your money.
It's definitely something that you want to keep track of.
Absolutely.
Now, Dave, how long does information stay on your credit report?
Well, it depends on what it is. If you have a credit account, a credit card, a loan, and that's still open, that will remain on your credit file as long as it's open. So forever, if it's a credit card, for instance. If you have a loan, an installment loan that's paid off, then it will stay on your account for a few years, and then it'll drop off. When you make an inquiry, inquiries generally stay on for about 3 years, and then they'll drop off. So if you're shopping for a car or you're shopping for a mortgage, you might see a few inquiries over a period of time. That will negatively affect your credit bureau a bit for a period of time, but then they'll drop off as long as you're not continuing to apply for credit. Because if you continually apply, those inquiries will continually stay on, and you will appear to financial institutions that you might apply to, and that we look at your credit as that you're a credit seeker and there may be issues. So again, very important advice to keep those inquiries down. Only apply for something when you really need it.
Now, if I have incorrect information on my file, how do I go about fixing it?
Well, again, make sure you check your file to ensure that things are correct. If you see something that you want to dispute, that's not yours, a loan that's not yours, something on there that's not yours, then go directly to the financial institution that it's related to and let them know. Talk to the credit bureau, let them know. You can call them, you can email them. They're going to do an investigation. They're not going to just take your word for it. They're going to do an investigation to ensure that you're telling them correct information. Because if there's something on there, a collection or something like that, a judgment, somebody sued you, and you say, that's not me, they're not going to just take it off. So they'll do an investigation and ensure that you are telling the truth. They'll contact the financial institution directly and ensure, and then they'll remove it. So again, I can't stress this enough. It's very important to check because fraud does happen. People use information that they'll find for you in various ways. It could be on a Facebook account or various social media. If you're on public Wi-Fi, they can steal some of your information, and then they'll use that information to apply for a loan, and then that loan will apply on your credit file. So if you don't check it, that could go on for a long time, and you never know that it's there. And then it goes into collection, and you're wondering why you can't get approved for anything. It's because you haven't checked your file and somebody has defrauded you.
Wow. Dave, this is incredible information, and I really appreciate you walking us through this. I know what I'm going to do today. Check my credit report. If you have any personal questions or any topics that you would like us to cover, you can email Dave directly at financefriday@firstontario.com, or you can reach out through Twitter at finance_Friday. Thank you for tuning in, and join us again next time when we share some tips about how to repay your debt.